In a world where borders are becoming increasingly irrelevant, a surprising shift is taking place. The winds of economic policy are blowing in a different direction, away from the familiar path of globalization and free trade, veering steadily towards the less chartered territory of protectionism and mercantilism. This transition is not a random occurrence, but rather a calculated response to changing geopolitical dynamics. A transformation driven by the tug-of-war between national security interests and the allure of free trade. Michael Pettis, a renowned economist, presents a compelling argument about this shift. He paints the picture of a world bifurcating into two distinct camps. On one side, we have the West, led by the United States and its allies, favoring protectionism. On the other, the rest, epitomized by countries like China, who are pushing for a mercantilist approach of maximizing exports and trade surpluses. Protectionism, in this context, is not merely an economic policy but a strategic move. It involves safeguarding domestic industries deemed vital for national security. Mercantilism, on the other hand, is a calculated tactic of maximizing exports while minimizing imports to accumulate trade surpluses. According to Pettis, this shift away from free trade is not only inevitable, but also necessary. He posits that the fundamental conflicts between creditor mercantilists and debtor deficit nations make it impossible for free trade to coexist with mercantilism. But what does this shift mean for investors? Pettis warns that the new era will be much more complex. Investors will need to navigate the treacherous waters of geopolitics, targeted industrial policies, and supply chains, in addition to understanding company and macro fundamentals. In this new world order, economic policies will become more interventionist. Governments will favor certain strategic industries over others, embracing protectionism in an attempt to safeguard their national interests. While this may seem daunting in the short term, Pettis argues that the West holds major advantages if it can correctly implement protectionism to rebuild its industrial base, rather than continuing to run trade deficits with mercantilist nations. Pettis' contrarian but well-reasoned perspective shines a light on a future where the era of hyper-globalization gives way to a more fragmented, nationalist economic landscape, where security concerns take precedence over free trade. This is the new reality we must prepare for, a reality where national borders regain their significance and economic policies are dictated by the needs of the nation, not the world.